Everyone, it's Libby from Maighstir Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, the traditional custodians of the land on which these videos are made, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Okay, hopefully this will be a short one. I know I'm putting a few out today. No, you do not need to watch every video, just the ones that interest you. There's a lot happening at the moment. There's some amazing readers out there, so please spread yourself around the readers. With the specific topics that are of interest to you. So entertainment only. What I want to have a look at in this particular reading, it's actually been on the back burner for me for a couple of days now, because I actually feel like it's going to become a nothing. But I'll have a look at it anyhow, because I think it's actually really interesting in the whole part of the unraveling of the regime and the United States looking at its history honestly. So what have we got? In Utah, the Governor Cox, the Republican Governor Cox, COX, although he's probably Governor Smallest Dickus. Did I really say that? Yes, I did. Okay, so Governor Cox has said that it's a top priority for Utah to build a 1,300-bed homelessness camp, a secure residential facility to put the homeless into. Okay, right, sounds like a prison to me. A secure residential facility. Ergo, a prison, pretty much. However, word has come out, now I haven't got many notes on this, but word has come out that basically what will happen is the homeless people in this prison will be provided food and board in exchange for working. Ooh, doesn't that sound like slavery to you? A forced labour camp where your only crime is that you're homeless, and so instead of dealing with the reasons for homelessness like mental health issues, PTSD issues, poverty, medical, instead of dealing with the actual issues that cause homelessness, let's just put them in pretty much a gulag, a Siberian style gulag in Utah. Okay, so what they're doing is it's a 1920s to 1950s gulag forced labour camp, and it's what I'm really getting, and I've written it down, is basically a slavery prison. Okay, where do I go with this? Well, let's have a look to see whether it's actually going to happen, because, or what is it? Is it actually, is this, hidden agendas? The High Priestess, the hidden agenda, and it is a slavery prison is what I'm getting. And why I say this is going to force the US to confront its history, because here we've got, it's the Four of Wands, it's some sort of announcement potentially coming out of the White House, or a marriage and agreement from the White House, because we know that I did say even before November last year, if this regime got in, they would rule by royal decree, and that's how they're ruling. There may be something that is signed or has already been signed, some sort of agreement from the White House to one of his moneyed mates for the taxpayer to pay for this to be built. And it's in Utah. So it's not been built out of the kindness of Governor Cox's heart. I suspect there's some sort of agreement contract that came from the White House for this to happen. And at the moment, the truth of it is being kept under wraps with the Queen of Cups. Trying to keep a lid on it. But let's have a look. This is not a alligator Alcatraz. This is not an immigrant internment camp. This is for United States citizens who have found themselves homeless. So let's have a look. What is the truth of this Utah Gulag, this Utah slavery prison. What is the truth of it? What is the truth of it? And I'm just going to call it what it is. Let's have a look. So this popped out. Okay. The Two of Pentacles. Money exchanging hands, but trying to bring the ships into port, but they're out on this really tumultuous sea, balancing on one leg, balancing the money, the decline, or is it the rise? I just think it's money changing hands with this atrocious idea, challenged by the circles of support, those that support it, the moneyed individuals. Tell us about it. However, the energy that they're stewing in is, I don't know that it's going to be built. The money might be handed over to do so, but I don't know that it's going to be built, because the energy that it's in with this Seven of Pentacles is looking at alternate ideas, but it's also an inability to harvest the ideas. In the past, the Tower moment, I don't think it's going to get built. I think circumstances are going to overtake. The Ace of Wands, inflammatory information is going to come out. And then we've got the Five of Cups, abandoning the idea and walking away towards higher ground, towards higher, externally, those that tied themselves to this devil energy, feathering their own nest from it. But they fear the hermit. They fear the swamp, the light being shone in the swamp, the investigations. King of Swords, the Sun, and the loss and heartbreak, or just loss, emotional loss, loss of possessions. I think circumstances are going to overtake this, and I think there's, with this Tower in the past, you've got the King of Swords, which is about investigation. It can also be the abuse of human rights investigation, the Sun revealing a heck of a lot, and the inability to get the rewards across to the castle. Just seeing what's coming up. Yeah, no. I just, you've got the Page of Coins, your money being offered, the opportunity being offered, the smoke and mirrors, but the strength, no ships on the horizon, inability to, strength of fighting back against it, the inability to bring the ships in, and the Temperance card. The secret dealings behind the scenes with that Three of Pentacles is going to get stopped. You've got the Eight of Pentacles, the money trail. Could possibly even lead overseas with the Six of Wands, but the money trail being revealed. Moving the truth forward, perhaps, and death as volatile information is brought out, unexpected information that's going to expose the secrets behind it, and there's the Wheel of Fortune, and somebody's going to be on the back foot trying to defend their position. I don't think it's going to get built. I really don't think it's going to get built. But Governor Cox might find himself in a tricky spot in regards to this. I do feel that is something going to, okay, show me Governor Cox. Oh, you want that one. Show me Governor Cox. Yeah, feathering his nest in regards to this. I'd say he's gotten some very handsome kickbacks for it to take place in Utah. but we've got the Tower moments coming for him. The ship can't is inability to bring this to fruition, and a hidden agenda, and then betrayal, loss, heartbreak, and see you later. And he might find himself having the money removed from him with that Three of Swords, Ten of Swords, and Five of Pentacles. He might find himself in a pickleish, in a jar of pickle, because the orange twerp and no one in the regime is going to save him. Yeah, I'd say he's had some very tasty bribery money for this, for what is pretty much a slavery prison. Is this? So it's not going to end well for Governor Cox, let me just put it that way. Is information that comes out about this, the plans, is the plans, two tens popped out, 3 10s popped out. Inability to bring this plan to fruition. The unity and the voter and coming forward, but the oligarchs, and then we've got the investigation for those that feathered their nest. For the sake of the devil, they're going to be forced to retreat. It's turning in, what they did in the past is turning into a nightmare situation. And we've got the self-sabotage and the abuse. So it's not going to end well for any of them. Being stopped, dark money behind the scenes, and then the Justice card coming forward. You've got the Nine of Wands back up against the wall, financially out in the cold, and betrayal. The regime is not going to protect them. But I want to ask, is the information that's going to come out about, I'm getting prickles up the back of my head there. They're even increasing prickles up the back of my head. Is the information that comes out about this plan going to force a reconsideration of slavery in the United States? Slavery wasn't that long ago. There are people still alive whose grandparents were slaves. What was it, 1870s, was it, that slavery was abolished? 1860s. 1860s. So there could, if someone was a slave child, 5 years old in the 1860s, and they lived, to 80, it would be children of people who were slaves are still alive. Okay, is this going to cause a serious debate and discussion about the effect on the population of the slavery, those that came from slaves? Let me put it that way. Yes, temperance. And I think it's going to be some sort of recompense, compensation. The temperance card. Yeah, financial, which is not a bad thing. Oh, look, tax the uber wealthy, 90% on everything over your first $10 million or $100 million or whatever. Let them have some money. Pay for this in a heartbeat. But yeah, I think working out some sort of financial recompense, the Knight of Swords as the sword of truth is drawn, And it's a harsh truth. It's a brutal truth to have to look at. The energy it's stewing in, the Knight of Cups in the past, the reconciliation offer being made. It's a bit like, and the birth of something new, and abundance for all. Sharing the wealth, sharing the abundance. Yeah, I think this is going to, something coming out of this plan is going to be part of discussions in regards to those whose ancestries come from slaves. It's like the church paying recompense to children that were stolen. Catholic Church is very much being held accountable. We have in Australia what we call a stolen generation, where First Nations children, Aboriginal children that could have passed as non-Aboriginal, sometimes as, Spanish or white or, a different ancestry than Aboriginal, were taken from their parents, stolen from their parents, and put into religious institutions and then adopted out to white families under this misconception that they were being given a better life. Basically what it was to destroy the lineage of the First Nations people. And there's been massive court orders about this in Australia. There's been government inquiries in regards to it, and it will never pay back what was lost, but there is financial recompense, I believe, that is now available to those that went through this. Okay. The immediate future, the Two of Pentacles, because it's just going to be a balancing act, because it is going to, what else can you give these people that were so badly done by? It's going to be a balancing act in regards to the financial recompense. Because you can't give them their history back, their ancestry back. They were brought in from overseas on slave ships, the tumultuous seas with the slave ships. A lot of them never made it. Money changed hands. It's human trafficking. At the end of the day, it was human trafficking. So there's going to be a lot to unravel here. In the past, the loss, the disappointment, the heartbreak, externally, highly emotive. The loss, highly emotive. Two cups still standing though. The stepping stones are here to be able to reach the end destination. It's going to take a lot of bravery. Okay, internally, working out behind the scenes, deals done behind the scenes. Seeing this from a different point of view. I'm going to say rewriting history in regards to the slavery. Like really revealing in the shackles, strung up, manacles, shackles, being seen differently, being taught differently, and the Justice card. Justice, taking control, the Emperor. It's not necessarily a bad Emperor. The Emperor is very much about being in control, but it may be a body, a legal body that makes the decision on the money and the money being brought forward. Queen of Wands, it's all part of the healing messages. Page of Cups, some will find it very difficult, but the Hierophant, the higher authority is ruling on this. And then the money changing hands. I hate to say being doled out, but that's got that vibe about it, the money changing hands. But this is going to be huge, huge in regards to moving forward with that Ace of Wands and the Judgment card. And then we've got the Chariot, movement forward. There will be some that do not want to do with that Four of Pentacles, but this is new beginning stuff. Absolutely new journey. Yeah, I do think it is. I really do feel that information that comes out from this Utah situation, and I think this is why my guides were so insistent that I read on it, because I'm like, well, when the regime is gone, it's not going to be built. But I think whatever is going to come out, I don't think it's going to, if it is built, it's not going to, it's not going to happen. You know, they can try, but I don't think, oh, if you're wondering the deck, it's the Mystical Manga, M-A-N-G-A. It may be built, but I don't think it's going to be commissioned, is what I'm getting. And it's not going to, Governor Cox, not going to end well for him. What an idiot. Anyhow, keep my opinions to myself, and I will leave it there. Okay, love to you all. Catch you shortly.